Yo, morning, boys. What's good?
Morning. What's good?
Morning.
Nothing much, man. Just been a standard morning, gym.
hmm
LLB when I went to your house last time, and I hit. I don't know if we told you, Ocean, but I was driving
Oh
on the
yeah.
country roads, and I hit a bird. So I was driving, and because going around the corners quite fast on those country roads, it wasn't moving. So I swerved out into the other side of the road last minute, but then the bird went the same way. So I hit a bird, and obviously I was feeling like guilty, like fuck. Then when I pulled up to his, I saw that it had smashed my headlight, um, and I was just putting it off getting fixed because they're quite expensive to do, and it's just I couldn't be bothered like sending my car to the garage or anything. And I think because I left it, and then we've had some bad weather, the water's got in, and
Oh
it's like
no.
messed up the whole electrics. Like my parking sensors aren't working, brake
Fuck.
light one is come on, the indicators are blinking like really fast. The whole thing's just messed up. So I've had to bite the bullet and just take it to the garage this morning. But I think
Have they
that
give you the bill yet?
nah, but I know it's gonna be probably around like 1,500.
God
That is a
damn,
lot.
for a headlight. That's
When I
crazy.
was looking at the headlights, I think to get them like brand new, a proper one is like kind of like it's probably about a grand because I don't know, it's just what it is with BMWs. It's like you have to replace. He was saying you have to replace like the whole unit and then code it to that specific car. So then obviously you get charged for the light and then them to do the work. And then I don't know what's happened to the reverse sensors and everything else. It could be more than that.
Man.
It
All
was like,
from the
Man,
bird, just this one
yeah,
chance moment.
literally.
yeah,
That's so
Oh man.
unfortunate. Something
so
like this happened to me once when I was driving on the motorway. It wasn't a bird. I was driving and all of a sudden like a stone just hit my windshield because I was driving
ah,
fast.
that's the
But it
worst.
cracked the whole thing.
Really?
Oh
Not the
my
windshield,
god.
sorry. The windshield, the
Yeah, yeah,
the
The
front
big
the
window.
glass.
front one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And then it cracked, and I was like, oh, I need to get it fixed, but I didn't. Obviously, just took my
Yeah.
time. Then it gets bigger and bigger and bigger.
Mm,
And then you have to bite the bullet and pay. I just
hmm
can't remember
yeah.
the cost, but I know it wasn't little.
Yeah, that's not cheap.
Was that on the Mercedes?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that was a
Man.
lot.
Yeah.
Because you don't
Running
even
the
want to
car
go
was a
through
lot.
insurance, do you? Because if you go through insurance, then your
Yeah.
premium just goes up. It's like a scam insurance, man. You have to have it. Like you don't have an option. It's illegal to not have it. But then when you need it, it's like you don't want to use it because then your premium goes up and they're going to charge you more anyway.
Yeah.
So it makes more sense to just pay privately most of the time. So it's
And it's
like, what's the point in
pricey,
having it?
Yeah, it's the
especially
craziest.
when you live in London. They charge a lot of money for their insurance. Sometimes you
Yeah,
can buy
just
a
for the
car really
location.
cheap, and it's like, okay, you're going to get a great price, but then once you whack on the insurance,
hmm
it's ridiculously priced to the point where you might not even be able to just drive it. You might have to just sell the car again.
Yeah.
Yeah. How didn't you say? I remember when you said you had that Corsa. It was like crazy expensive. You was paying monthly for it, and it was like
Yeah,
when
probably
you
like
told me, I was like, what? It was like what I was
either,
paying for the year.
either 180 or 250
A
Fuck.
month. That
a
is
month.
wild.
That's
Yeah, and then
crazy,
when I
man.
got the Mercedes, it was either 220 or 270. I can't remember.
hmm
Mm. Shit's expensive, man.
It's meant to go
Yeah.
down as you get older, but
And
my
mine's
heart's
just gone. It
truthful.
started going down and then it went back up over the past few years. Everyone says inflation, but they've really inflated it like
Mm.
Yeah.
dramatically. And then
Yeah.
because I had to make a claim 2 years ago, was it? Might be close to, I think it was 2022. When did I have that crash? I had a crash like a couple of years ago anyway. And that was like the one time I had to use insurance and it paid out because that job was like really expensive. They had to replace a lot of things. Like I couldn't even drive my car. It was fucked. And I think when you take a car to a garage and they know it's an insurance job, they probably just make up loads of stuff because they know they're getting
Mm.
paid for the insurance company. So when they sent me the list after, they'd replaced like loads of things that probably didn't even need replacing. But if I would have spent that money myself in that moment, that it would have cost thousands, like loads. So that's the one time it's kind of came through for me. But then because of that,
Mm.
now my premium like shot up. So over time, I'm going to be spending money anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's kind of like a catch 22 insurance.
Yeah,
it's
they get you,
annoying.
don't they?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's painful as well when you hear your mum and dad like, oh, let's get the car insured, and then you see what they're paying. It's like
Yeah, they
£5
always seem to
50 a
get
Yeah,
month.
like
they
fifty
always seem to
pound. Yeah,
get good prices. My dad said he was paying like 500 or 400 for the year,
yeah,
which to me is
Yeah,
like an amazing price, compared to
for
the
London, yeah,
for what it was for me. But I
because
just
we've been
never seem to
driving for
get those
like
prices.
30 years
Hmm.
without
Yeah, it's
making
crazy,
claims. But yeah, that's been
man.
my morning. I just had to drop the car off and then come back here. I've been kind of liking getting up a little bit earlier. I've only been waking up like an hour earlier, but I just feel like I get more of my day back. I know it's like it doesn't really matter what time you start because you just do the work anyway. It's just the evenings I notice it because I can finish like a bit earlier and actually spend some time with Kira. So it's
Yeah,
like it's a bit
Yeah,
more sociable, I guess.
nice man.
yeah.
You looking forward to the trip coming up? Was it next week?
Yeah, it's next Thursday. I am, but I'm also like thinking, what's LA going to be like? Like, can I even go? Nothing's been cancelled yet. I think like
Hmm.
most flights are still running fine, but I just don't know the situation over there. I haven't looked into it for the past few days, so I don't know if they've got it somewhat contained yet or if it's still wild.
Not too
Yeah,
sure.
nobody
I
heard. Not
think it's
totally.
I've heard it's not actually that bad there.
Right.
Okay,
Looks like it's calmed down a little bit.
so maybe it's had the worst part. So yeah, I mean, I'm still looking forward to the trip. Like either way, like Nam was the priority. Like I was going to link up with like Infinite and everyone, and it's because ImageLine sent out that invite. So I was like, you know what? I've never been to Nam before. It might be a good place to go and meet some potential new sponsors.
Yeah,
Um, and just an excuse to go on a trip, I guess. So I'm looking forward to it because it's not
Yeah,
like the whole of LA's closed. There'll still be loads to do. And
yeah,
if we really wanted
definitely.
to, I've got the car, so I could drive down to like San Diego or do
I'd
something like
recommend
that.
it, man. Drive to like
Really?
either Santa Barbara or Manhattan Beach.
Mm.
Else, what's it called? What's it on the beach? Manhattan Beach, and there's another beach.
There's Venice Beach, like in LA,
Venice Beach
but
is cool. But
is
Manhattan
Venice
Beach
Beach where the
is
skate
way
park
more
is?
chill. Venice
which?
Beach is like Camden,
Oh, okay, right.
where it's like very touristy and stuff. But Manhattan Beach is really like nice and chill.
Okay.
I'm trying to remember the beach.
Hmm.
Hermosa Beach. That's the one that's underneath it.
Which beach has been affected by the fires?
Probably upwards of Malibu. I mean,
Okay.
upwards of
Oh
Venice
yeah, it
towards
was Malibu
Malibu.
as well, wasn't it? Right. Yeah, so I might do that one of the days. I think so I had a session on the Monday, but the girls who I was linking up with, they've gone to New York
Hmm.
because they didn't know what was happening with the fires. I think they were sort of like in the middle of it. Like there was all the fires around and then they were closer in the center, so they didn't know how far it was gonna stretch. So I think they've gone to New York. So I don't know when they'll be back, but that session might be cancelled. So I'm kind
How
of
long are you
tempted
there
to
for?
just only it's only like 6 days. So I fly on Thursday. So obviously I won't be doing anything Thursday. Friday and Saturday I'll be at NAMM, and then Sunday I'm gonna do a session with Infinite and Lifestyle, and then I'll drive to LA from there, and then stay in LA for 3 nights. So just like I'll have like Sunday night, I'll have like Monday, Tuesday, and then Wednesday I fly back Wednesday evening. So to be honest, like I'm not even that bothered about lining up loads of sessions. Like the main focus was NAM, and I've never been to that part of America before, so I won't mind just spending a couple of days actually seeing it and just taking it in properly.
Got
I
you.
can
Yeah,
get like a mix in, but we'll
yeah,
see.
should be sick. Did you get in touch with Chucky?
Yeah, but he's gonna be in Belgium when I'm over
Oh,
there,
right. Yeah,
so it's just bad timing.
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah,
That should
who
be
else is
sick
based
either
out
way.
there that we know? Like if I was gonna arrange a session, I feel like it's one of
RMC,
those things
he's
like
another
when I'm
YouTube
there, it'll just
producer.
be like, oh, RMC, yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think he's
Could
pulling
try
up to NAMM.
hit up.
Okay.
I don't know where Cody lives these days, but
I
could
think he's
try
in
him.
Oh
Florida.
yeah, good point.
But
Try
Internet Money in
him.
general. Wait,
Yeah,
I don't even know
I,
if
th-
Internet
They're
Money are
in
based
LA,
in
aren't
LA
they?
anymore. I don't know.
I
Oh, they're
think they've
not.
all spread out. I know Rio's not there anymore.
Right.
I think he moved out, and Nick Mira
Oh,
might be
Bookie
still there.
Beats.
Oh
Oh,
yeah.
Bucky. Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
That's all I can think of in terms of YouTube producers off the top of my head right now.
Might be worth
Yeah.
asking when you link up with some people over there. Just like, oh, do you know who's like active in LA at the minute.
Dylan.
Dylan, yeah.
Yeah, I think he's going to be at NAMM, so he'll be at this session on Sunday.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
Sunday will be good. I might just arrange, like, I might spend Monday just doing sessions as well, and then just keep Tuesday free to go explore, maybe drive somewhere. And then Wednesday, I'll be flying in the evening, so I'll have some time to do something in the morning.
I was speaking to Infinite,
Oh, yeah?
and he was saying that he wants to go to this steak place that he took me last time called D
Oh, I
Place.
think he sent it to me.
Bro, let me tell you, this is
It's
the
good.
greatest steak, the greatest Korean barbecue steak I've ever had.
Let me see if it's the same one he sent me,
It's incredible. It's about a 45 minute to an hour's drive,
but worth
but
it.
100% worth it. It's so good.
Is it, wonder if this says the restaurant name.
Have you caved yet, Ocean? You gonna go over to LA?
I was trying to. I'm just going to change my camera back to you. I was
Is
trying
it
to. I was trying to make it
D
happen.
Place Steakhouse?
Yeah, that's the one.
Okay.
But I don't think it is going to happen. Time is getting quite short now. Flights are up even more than when I was checking. So
I'm surprised they went up. I thought they would have gone down.
Yeah.
no, there was a. I was going to book here because I was able to do it. Basically, I was going to book. Everything was lining up. Then I waited a day, and then it all just doubled and tripled. And I was like, I'm not doing that then.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So,
that seems crazy. I would have thought there's a natural disaster going on. Like, no one's going to want to fly there, but maybe a lot of people fly back to see family or see what's going on. I don't know. Maybe people are in a rush to get back because they've got homes there, or who knows.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's a weird conspiracy though. If you go on a flight website and you don't book and you come back, it tracks you and it raises the price.
Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, if you've been looking. Yeah.
This is what someone told me. Yeah.
You know what? People have said that for a while, but I think it got debunked. I think what happens is the longer you leave it, more seats get booked, and then the
that's
prices
the
go up
logical
because the
the
demand
logical
goes up.
reason.
Because I've
Yeah.
tested it before. Like my mum and dad still think that they all say, "Oh, when we come to yours, can we look at flights? Because ours keep going up now, and it's because we've been looking so much." But then they'll come here, and then I'll check on my side, different IP address, different Wi-Fi, everything, and it's the higher price that they found at home. So I have like tested it. It won't surprise me if they did it, but maybe they did at one point and then they got caught out. I'm not sure.
Maybe. I also found on TikTok this hack. Yeah. So sometimes when you book a flight, not all the time the seat choice is free. You have to pay extra,
Yeah.
and nobody really wants to sit in the middle.
Oh,
Everyone
yeah. I
either
think I
wants
know
the
what you're
aisle or
saying
a
here.
window.
Yeah.
And a guy on TikTok, what he done, he basically goes on the website, books, not really books, but just like selects all the seats except the one that he wants to book. Then he opens up another tab, and then all of those seats are reserved, so he can't book them except for the one that is free.
Oh,
So he
really?
automatically gets that one. You get
Oh,
it?
okay. Yeah. But can you select that? I don't think you can select that many seats though, can you? Because if you've just got one ticket, it just lets you click
Probably
on
not
one seat.
anymore. Probably not
Yeah.
anymore, man. Because now he bugged it, and that
Oh,
post
okay,
got
yeah.
like millions of views. So
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's funny. I thought you were gonna say because I know people, if they're flying as a two, like couples will go, and one of them, because obviously they've got two tickets, so one of them will book the aisle seat and one of them will book the window seat, because then it just leaves the middle free. Because then it's like no one wants to just book that middle seat, so then they're
Yeah.
hoping that no one books it, so then they've got a spare seat next to them. But
Yeah,
then
bit of
that
extra
doesn't always
space.
go to plan because planes get sold out as well.
yeah,
Some
and can you
massive guy
imagine
just
like
books it.
Yeah,
somebody
yeah.
and they don't want to change
27
as well.
in the middle. Yeah.
Oh man.
So it's a gamble. But that's like one of the best feelings ever when you're on a flight and then they say cabin fully boarded or whatever it is, and then
And you got the two.
you've got
Yeah.
no one next to you. You're
Yeah.
like, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's good when you've got the whole aisle as well. Like you travel
Yeah,
by
it's
yourself.
sick.
that's happened
Yeah.
on the last couple of my last flights, which is perfect.
When I went to, luckily this was just a short flight, but when I went to Ireland and Ibrahim came with me, we were flying to see Session Olin to do that video. So the flight there was all right, but then on the flight back, it was like empty. There must have been about 20 people on it. Like there was hardly anyone on there. So we were like, we'll just take a full row each. Like it's calm. So everyone just sat there, and then one guy just gets on, and he sat somewhere else at first, but just before the flight takes off, he comes and sits right next to me. I'm like, he's like, "Are you okay?" I'm like, "Yeah, are you okay?" And then he's just like chatting to me, and he's like, "I sat here because I'm scared of flights. I don't like to be alone."
Oh,
I'm like,
fair
oh.
enough.
I was tired, I've just been like filming all day. I'm like, it's nighttime now. I just want an hour of peace to read my book.
Yeah.
And it's like, he won't even just let me sit there. It's like, all right, sit there. It's cool. But I'm just trying to sit. I'm not trying to talk to anyone right now. I just want to be in my own space. But he's like, I'm sorry, I need to talk to someone because I'm so scared. So he was like,
Right.
he needed to talk to me because it calmed him because he was so scared of flying. But he didn't really speak like English that well, so I couldn't really understand like everything. So there was obviously a language barrier there. So it wasn't like we could have like a proper good conversation, but he just needed me to be like present. I'm like, oh, fuck, man.
I bet Ibrahim was pissing himself in the
Yeah,
in
he
the row
was further
behind.
back, just chilling.
Yeah. I can imagine already.
Ibrahim is the least stressed guy I've ever met in my life. You know, when we was
Yeah.
in when we were flying back from Berlin, was Berlin the last place we did on the Europe thing?
Hmm.
So on the last night, Jay, all of the our Airbnb our flight got delayed or cancelled to the next day. So we had no
Oh, yeah.
accommodations, so we all had to kind of last minute book a place, and it was all separate because obviously
Hmm.
we could only find places for like
Oh,
two
yeah.
people. And so it was like, yeah, we'll meet at the airport at, let's say, at 8 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
And then I was up late, just I think I was like dropping a kit or something. And then so yeah, I was with Ibrahim anyway, and got up, and it was like 7:45. It was like we had like 10 minutes to get to the airport basically. And I was like, like slept for our alarms basically. I was like, Eve, wake up, our alarms. He was just completely out of it, and I'm just like, when you
Chilling.
just, you're just panicking, and you're just like
Yeah.
fully awake at that point. So I like quickly booked the Uber and everything, and he was just so slow getting his stuff together. It's like, Ibrahim, the Uber's outside right now.
There's no sense of
Yeah,
urgency.
of course. No.
That's
So
joke.
stressed.
I remember that
You
in
know what he
Berlin
was.
actually. I can't remember what I did because I had a separate Airbnb, didn't I? And then I think the flights got cancelled. Maybe I went back a night early or something. Maybe I was meant to fly like
Yeah,
the morning after, but then I went that same night because then I didn't know what to do the next day. I think that was
yeah,
it.
I think that was, yeah, I think so.
But yeah, traveling's long, man. Like you love getting to the destination, but the whole process is quite long.
I
Sometimes it's
used
Yeah,
to love it.
enjoyable. Yeah,
I used to
same.
really enjoy it, but not so much anymore. Now I just want to just be there.
Yeah. Yeah, everyone says that now. Like my
mm.
parents, they always say like how relaxed things were when they were flying. Like when we moved over to England from Canada, obviously these days you get like 10 kg, 20 kg if you pay like £70.
Hmm.
These like my mom and dad brought like they moved from Canada and pretty much brought like everything with them on the plane. Like they just had loads of suitcases. They brought a sledge, but like the sled was like a big one that had like like almost like a steering wheel, like this huge
Oh my
fucking
God.
sledge, and they just brought everything with them. Like you could just check it all in, and like security wasn't that tough, so it's like getting a bus. It's like you just walk on,
Just walk in, yeah.
and
I
like
swear
you
you
just
used to be able to smoke on airplanes as well, like back
Yeah,
in the
way
yeah,
day.
back in
probably
the
in like the
days.
70s and stuff. Yeah,
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
yeah, it's crazy. But you had loads of leg room as well back then, and then over time they've just
Yeah.
slowly decreased it to get more like seats in. That's like the biggest killer. It's just the leg room that you've got because you're just cramped up and you're on a 10-hour flight.
Hmm.
Yeah, it's the
And most
worst.
of the seats are not that comfortable anymore.
Nah. And
Yeah,
when
you
you've got
can't
a
like.
producer back mixed into that, you're like trying to stretch every 2 minutes.
Yeah, it's not. It's
Yeah,
not
we
best.
just need to level up and start going business. Real talk.
Yeah, you're
That's
right,
it.
man.
We
I
need
did
to
look at
get
it.
business.
I looked at it for this flight, but yeah, it didn't seem worth it. I think I paid about 600 for the flight, and then when I looked at business class, it was like 4 grand. It's just like it's quite a
Fuck.
big jump.
Yeah.
But to some people, that's just nothing. It's like it's whatever. I'd rather just pay it. It's like paying an extra
It,
fifty
it
pound for
also
us or
sucks
something.
as well because the point system in the UK is not great. Whereas, like, when I speak
Yeah,
to a
for
lot of
air miles.
Americans, They've got
Hmm.
tons and tons of points just because they've been using credit cards for a long time, and
Yeah.
it just accumulates. So
Yeah,
they
you're
don't
right.
even have to pay too much, even though the flight might be 4K with points that could be like 200, 300.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, it's shit over here. Like,
But here they just
they
don't.
have a whole system, don't they, where they'll have like one credit card and then transfer it to another credit card, and then
Yeah, there's a
there's
whole
people
game
that,
behind it.
yeah. Have you
There's
ever
whole
watched one of
websites
those
and stuff.
videos? You'll have like a mastermind who breaks it down on a whiteboard, and it looks like, you know, like in kind of looks like when someone's working on a crime and they're trying to get to the top guy, and it's like on the board, it's like spread out with all the different people. He's got that with all the credit cards. So he's like, use
Yeah,
this credit card to do this and that credit card to do that. Then you transfer this and you get these points. It's like,
Oh my god.
man, who's got time for that?
but you know what? It does make a difference though, because it makes travel so much easier. You don't imagine just never having to pay for a flight or a hotel.
Yeah, I mean, that
Yeah.
would be sick.
It just makes travel
Yeah.
way more enjoyable. And then always taking business class as well.
Yeah, that's the one. I mean, being able to fly business class everywhere, that's the dream.
Yeah.
I would play the game, but there's no game to be played in the UK. It just doesn't work. You
Yeah,
can never. They just don't have those kind of bonuses, and they won't allow you to sign up for multiple credit cards like that.
mind saying that. So I looked into it when I got this house because I was like, I know I'm going to be spending a lot. Like, we had some money aside to get furniture and everything like that. So we were like, we might as well get a credit card, build up some points because we're going to be spending a lot of money. So I looked into it to see what the best one was, and I thought Amex might be good, but it's not actually worth it because for the good Amex cards, you have to pay yearly. And with
Yeah.
the amount of points you get back, it's like not even worth it. So the best one at the time was just a John Lewis card. So it's like, all right, we'll just get it. Spent everything on that. Must have spent like a good few grand at least on furniture and everything. And then we get a letter through the post. It's just saying like, thank you for, you know, being with John Lewis and here's your points. And it was a £5 voucher.
What? That is a joke.
And then later on, we got a £10 voucher. So we've had like £15 back from spending grands with them.
Nah, that is crazy. You see, when I was looking at the US ones, okay, so let me give you like contents. So basically, I've been flying on purpose with Qatar Airways just to build up like my loyalty points, whatever.
Yeah.
And I've probably done about 8 long haul flights with Qatar, and I still haven't hit the next tier. I need to do 2 more long haul flights, and I'll hit the next tier.
Really? And then
And
what do you get?
So I'm going from, let's say, bronze to silver, which just
Okay.
gives me like lounge access and stuff. However, if I just applied for the Qatar business card, the Qatar credit card, I automatically go to gold tier just by
Oh,
having the
really?
credit card. Not even spending, just having the
Yeah.
credit card.
Just having it, yeah.
So you wouldn't have had to
I'm
spend
going
all that
through
money
all
on
this
Qatar flights.
legwork just to get to silver, booking all these flights.
Yeah.
And all I just need to do is have the credit card.
Can you get the credit cards?
No, I can't. You have to be a US
Wow.
citizen.
Damn, man.
The credit system in the US, like they're really on top of it. You know what I mean? It's so capitalist that like
Yeah.
it makes sense there, but UK is just not having that.
No, they're not here. They're stingy here, man.
Can you imagine how many people would just go crazy?
No one
with
wants
the
you to
credit
have
cards?
luxury here.
It's £5.
Everyone's like, get back to your economy seat. Who do you think you are? That's the mentality in England.
It is, man. It really is. It's such a
People say
crazy
that a lot,
mindset.
don't they, about like the UK compared to US? It literally is like the mindset. I feel like people over here just don't have the mentality of wanting you to win and succeed.
Yeah.
It's like they're always trying to shut you down. Whereas America, it's more like, I feel like they'd be more supportive of the people. They'd be like, you go for it. You could do anything. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Yeah, it's like whatever level someone's on in the UK, you can't be above that. You know, to them, you can't be above them. Otherwise, yeah.
Yeah. Very like
Get back to
pessimistic
your
in it.
level.
And
Yeah. It's kind of
probably down to
strange.
like a number of reasons. I don't think weather plays a big part in it. And why
Yeah.
everyone's sort of miserable over here.
I saw this TikTok pop up of like this American guy like in the UK, and he was just like, "It's the most miserable place he's ever been to."
Yeah, I
It was
keep
just
seeing these
constantly
kind of
cloudy.
TikToks pop up, you know. I call it like UK
Yeah.
slander TikToks. There's just been
Yeah.
tons of them recently. People just, I don't know, people are just not happy there right now. It doesn't seem like a good time from the outside looking in.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people do feel like that.
Yeah.
It's not all like doom and gloom though. Like it has got its perks.
100%.
Like it is quite funny. The pessimistic thing is quite like funny at times as well.
It
Like
is,
if you're
yeah.
not like that, to see it, it's like quite
Mm.
funny. we do have somewhat of a good culture. Like, I feel like we've got a good sense of humor over here.
Oh yeah,
Definitely.
100%.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
because then on the other side, it's like maybe some Americans are maybe too optimistic. I feel like you go from one extreme to the other. We go from like us who want to shut everyone down, and then other people in America might think that they can do anything. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, that's true.
almost like not put the work in. It's just like, oh yeah, we'll just sort itself out. It's like it's cool, we can do it. I could be
Yeah,
wrong,
that's
but that's
true.
like sort of the vibe I get. It seems like one extreme to the other.
Hmm.
Yeah, in terms of opportunity and feeling like you've got hope to get where you're at, like that sort of like dream goal that you want to get, like say you wanted to get in the NBA or something.
Yeah,
The vibe over there is way more encouraging than it is in the UK. Like over there,
Yeah.
a high school game is like it's got bleachers that's full of people watching,
Hmm.
and then in the UK there's like a bench in the corner where parents can sit
Yeah.
like 3 people, like an empty sports hall.
yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's just been like more encouraging in that sense.
There's also something funny about like a Sunday league football game. Like, I don't know if you guys played when you were younger, but
Hmm.
you're just like a kid and you're playing Sunday league, and it's like everyone's just fucking swearing at everyone, shouting at each other.
All the parents.
Like parents on the side, like fuck you.
Yeah.
Like it's kind of funny.
It is, but it is.
I used
Have
to
you seen
coach
that
Sunday
clip?
League.
Huh?
Did you?
I used to coach it as well. It was
Did
so
you?
it was so fun though. It
It
was
is
Yeah.
such
fun,
a good
like,
time.
The banter is great, and
Yeah, because you
Yeah,
laugh
no,
it
I
off
do
in
miss
the
that.
end. Like everyone's like shouting at each other, but then you kind of just laugh it off, don't you?
Yeah, go to the pub, have a beer after the match. Have you seen that clip of that? Like, it's just like a typical like Sunday league clip.
think
It's
I know
just
what
like
you're
chubby
gonna
guy. Have you seen him? He's like the ball's going out of bounds,
Oh, yeah.
and he's chasing after it, and then he misses it. He goes, "Oh yeah, stupid fat fuck!" And then before he can get it out, he slips on like a grid and it just falls
Yeah,
over,
yeah.
smacks his leg. It's so funny.
Because you go watch a football game in like Canada, for example, and all the chants are like, "You
is
suck."
positive.
It's like,
It's so dead. It's so dead. I remember.
Let's go Toronto, let's go. And over here, it's just like, your mum's a slug.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, I do. I think I do like the UK for just like the culture, like banner.
Yeah, it's got its
It's
perks.
next level. Yeah.
mhm.
Have you seen that
Especially
clip of-
football culture. Football culture is amazing in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah, it's funny, man.
Well, it is, but then like there's the violence side, like blokes just going out for a fight. Like
I feel like
found
that's
that mad,
really, that's kind of, I wouldn't say it's dead, but it's improved a lot. Because like 30 years
yeah,
ago,
Yeah.
for sure.
it was intense and crazy. Whereas like now,
Yeah,
you can definitely take a kid to a football game and not have to worry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure.
true.
Yeah,
Maybe in the
definitely.
lower leagues it's different though, but in the Premier League, I don't think they're going to tolerate that anymore.
nah,
Yeah.
you just get
Nah, that's
banned,
true.
don't you? They know where you're sitting. If someone's causing some shit, they'll just like ban you from going.
Mm.
Yeah. Oh, just give me one sec, guys. Just get the door.
Yeah, of course. But yeah, I always like go back and forth between like wanting to move and then staying. I heard
Mm.
I was listening to some people talk about this, and they were like saying, okay, yeah, you can move somewhere for better weather, but what's the price you pay for that? Like, are you leaving like a culture behind that you like? Are you leaving family and friends behind that you like? You know, or you could move somewhere, for example, for tax purposes to save money, but then it's like, okay, you might save money in that place, but are you gonna have better experience in that place because you don't have your people around you, you don't have
Yeah.
certain things that you
On-
get. So it's like there's a balance, isn't there? There's like
There's
a price
pros
you
and
pay
cons,
for doing
man.
that.
There's pros
Yeah.
and cons, and whatever you choose, there's always going to be a consequence or a price to pay, and it's just up to you whether you want to pay that price or not.
Yeah, of
You know
course.
what I mean?
Because we always think the grass
I
is
don't think
greener,
there's-
don't we?
I never think there's a right or wrong, and I realize there is no grass is greener. It's just like
Yeah.
what's good for you, what works for you at that time. It might be good for that time period as well,
Yeah.
and then you
And then
you
it
change up,
changes.
you know?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to be permanent. At least you can
Yeah.
say you've tried it, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
I definitely don't feel like there's a best place in the world that is 100% better than the other. I
Yeah.
still think London is probably one of the best cities in the world. It has its cons, has its pros.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear that. I don't know
But
if it won't personally be for me, London. Like
Yeah.
I like going there. It is a cool city when you go there, but it's a bit too hectic for me to live there.
I hear that. I always remember one time I got off the train coming back from Manchester to London, and I walked out of Euston, and I was just like, whoa. I think I get it now. I understand why Ibrahim actually doesn't like doing this journey, because it's just so
Yeah.
full on. It's like you
Yeah.
come from a bit of peace, and then it's just like bang,
Hmm.
everywhere, everyone.
It is intense for sure. I think I see where you're coming from here with Ocean, like with the like your routine. It could be up, stay at the studio. You kind of already, you'd have to do too much travel. You like already there, and then gym's kind of like close by, and just walking to get places was quite a vibe, I suppose. But
Yeah.
yeah, I know what you mean. Like trying to get about to like different parts of London all the time. It's hectic. Like
Yeah,
I feel like
I mean,
everyone
you
should
do
do the city life at one point in
you
their
do
life.
get used to
Just
it.
experience it.
You do
Yeah.
get used to it, because after a while you just don't even notice. Like I don't. You become numb to sirens and
Yeah.
loud talking and
Mm.
shouting and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true.
yeah,
But I understand it wouldn't be for everyone, especially if you didn't grow up there, you know. I can understand why you wouldn't like it.
Yeah, because some people grow up in like really quiet places, and then if they eventually move to a busy city like that, it's like, whoa, what's just happened?
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
feel like it's good to experience for a bit. I liked living in Manchester when I was like in the center, and you just have everything on your doorstep. It was fun, man, because I just wanted to be out all the time. But then
Yeah.
at this stage of my life, I'm kind of all right with being a little bit out of it
Mhm.
to have some peace. But then I still want access to it. Like I can get there in 30 minutes now, which is like nothing really. So I still have that if I need it, but I'm just not around it all the time. But then sometimes I think I'm like maybe too quiet here. Like there's just nothing here.
yeah. No, I hear that. Would you
Interesting.
rather be where you are now, or like, let's say like 5 to 6 years from now? Would you rather be like more in a city, or think you'll still be happy kind of like where you're at now?
I think the older you get, the further out the city you want to be.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Because you appreciate the nature and peace, don't you? Because I lived in
Yeah,
Manny for a
definitely.
long time, so I've already got that experience. I think if I was a bit younger, maybe like early 20s, and I was like fully on my grind with music and stuff, then I won't mind just being in the city, because that's where like all the sessions are happening. Like I probably could have done London at that point if that's what I wanted, like if I wanted to do sessions and stuff, because it's just like the place to be for it. Like the few times that I've like gone down to London or linked up with producers, I've always like got a lot back from it. So then it makes me think like, man, like there's a lot that can happen just from having like one session with someone, because you can talk to people on Instagram and have an online relationship, but then as soon as you have that one session with someone, you just have that connection. Then they're way more likely to want to work with you at that point if the session goes well and you know you're both like good people.
Yeah, definitely.
You said you was thinking one time to move. Where would you have moved to though? Where was you thinking? What was on your mind?
On my mind at the time, I was looking at places like Dubai, because I was just getting annoyed with the whole tax system here. Like every year they were like upping it. Like right now over here for corporation tax, 25%. So I'm like, man, 25% of my profit straight away is going to the government. And then because I'm set up as a limited company, I'm technically an employee of my company. So I then have to pay personal tax. So it's like the amount of money that you spend on tax. I was like, I wanted to get out just to save money. But then I was also thinking, okay, but is it worth it? Like you could go somewhere I'm sure countries have like a system in place where there's very, very minimal tax, like Dubai. But will I like the culture there? Will I like being away from friends and family? Because that's the price you pay, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. I get like these ideas in my head in the moment, and then I kind of change my mind. But I think more than anything, like right now, I just want some good weather, man. I feel like when the sun's out, everyone's just in good spirits. But then
Yeah.
I would find it hard to be away from like all like my family and boys and stuff as well.
Yeah. What you need to do really is just make like 1 billion and then just move everyone out.
Yeah,
That's
move
pretty-
everyone over.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
No,
I feel like I
I
need
hear
to
that.
try it at like some point. I never really lived in a different country apart from, obviously I was born in Canada, but then there was like, I think one point when I was like 20, I moved back for like 6 months just to spend a summer out there, like a bit more. But
Did you
apart
enjoy
from
it?
that, yeah, I did at the time. So I was quite young. Was like, I think it was in between my second and third year of uni. I finished my second year quite early, so I had like a 6 month gap. So I worked in Canada with my cousin for like 6 months. So I was working every day. But yeah, I liked it, man. It was good fun.
Hmm. Yeah, maybe it could be like I don't know, like a 40s or 50s thing. You always hear like a lot of people moving overseas around that age, just
Yeah,
to kind of literally just get some sun, like live more of like a chilled life.
yeah,
Um,
definitely.
and I feel like pretty much everywhere, I get apart from like Switzerland, I think the tax is better in a lot of countries compared
Mm,
to the UK. I know I saw this vlogger who'd moved to Cyprus for that reason. The tax was good. I did register when I was over there, and I was like, but I wasn't earning enough to really see what like the percentages was going to be like. But I've heard a lot of people move over there as well for tax reasons. But
yeah,
again, it's the same thing, and like you said, it's family, friends, just like the culture. You're leaving like a lot of stuff behind. I mean,
yeah.
how are you feeling at Ocean? Like, how are you finding living in Thailand? 'Cause I know you did it before, but like, is it different being over there now?
No, I think I'm kind of used to being away from
Mm.
family and that, because I've lived abroad for a lot of the 20s, you know. I've
Hmm.
only probably spent what, 1, 2, 3, 4-ish years of my life in England in my 20s, maybe. So half of it
Mm.
out. So I think I'm used to it. That, like you said, pros and cons, right? You are away from your family a lot. I think I've only seen my mum and my brother and my dad maybe like 2 weeks in a year,
Oh,
if
really?
that. So it's not
Yeah.
a lot, you know.
Yeah.
But I enjoy it. I like being out here.
Yeah,
I like being
Mm.
in London too. I don't know. I just like being places, innit?
yeah.
That's more.
Mm.
But
New
it fits my
experiences.
personality, I guess. I don't think it's for everyone. I could
Yeah,
only
definitely.
recommend people to try it and see if it works. But for me, I'm less affected by that. Like I'm okay with being alone,
Yeah,
and I'm okay with
Yeah.
being in a completely different culture. I've been in places where I'm the only black person, and I've just like dealt with it. Just know how to move. Do you know what I'm trying to say? So
hmm,
Hmm.
it's okay for me.
Yeah.
makes
No,
sense.
that makes sense.
I know for
I
some
guess
people, like
like
they get homesick quick. Like my cousin, for example, the idea of moving away from England, even the idea of moving away from Essex for him is like the worst thing ever. Like he just never wants to do it. He'll go on holiday, but he doesn't want to give up like his life and the
Yeah,
mm,
food that he's used to, the climate, even though it's cold, he's used to it. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
yeah, yeah.
yeah. How's is O'Dane still out there?
Nah, he went back
Oh,
like
did
six
he?
months ago.
Oh,
He
okay.
found it a
Fair.
bit tough though, in at some points because he's not used to being alone and being
Yeah,
away
I
from his
think if
family
you
and that.
I think you have to kind of ease into it. You have to like be by yourself in the UK for a bit, maybe live with some friends, and then after that, maybe find your own spot with like maybe just you and like just you and one mate, and then after that, you're like, okay, now I'm ready to have like my own spot, and then you're like, okay, now maybe I'll move overseas and try that, and yeah, I think it's something you have to ease into because yeah, moving like cold turkey is quite a big step
Yeah,
Unless you're
for
built
anyone
for it
really.
though, like some people, it doesn't affect
Yeah,
you.
some
To
people are
be
like
fair,
they already know they want to do it when they're like in their early teen, like 16, 17, they just want to move away.
yeah, I was definitely one of
So
those people. I knew from young that I didn't want to be stuck in my neighborhood, which I grew up in.
yeah.
mm, yeah.
Where was the first place you moved? Was it Thailand?
Thailand was the first place I moved to.
Mm.
That's quite a big jump as well from like London. Like usually
Yeah,
people try a different city or something first, but to move to Thailand, it's quite a
Straight to
big step.
Thailand.
yeah, it was a big step. And then after that was Vietnam,
Right.
which was I think is even more intense than Thailand in my opinion.
I've never been.
Whereabouts in Vietnam were you?
Ho Chi Minh.
Okay.
Why?
How
What was
close
it
is
like
that
there?
to gone?
It's just way more chaotic than Bangkok.
Oh, is
And
it?
Mm.
people are super nice and
Bangkok's
friendly, but more
chaotic.
aggressive, I think,
Okay.
and just like more rowdy, if that makes
Yeah.
sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Mm.
Less English spoken.
Is the traffic in Thailand the same as in Vietnam, where you can't wait for there to be no traffic, you just have to walk out and cross?
Nah, it's not that bad. There's
Right.
traffic lights and stuff like that.
Right. Yeah, I got a friend who lives in Vietnam, and he's like, yeah, if you want to cross the road, you just have to. They
Yeah.
move out of your way. You have to just kind of walk out and hope you don't get hit. Basically, such a crazy
Mm.
system.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah,
But there's also, you know, like how you're saying you can tier it as well, like maybe move to a different city or maybe move with a friend. I think
Yeah,
there's stepping stones as well. Like if you move to a country where you don't speak the language and they don't speak English, it'll be tough. But let's say you move from England to Australia
yeah,
or England to Canada, the
yeah,
move is a lot easier, a lot more simple. It's a lot more closer to home.
we're
yeah.
quite lucky that most countries like understand a bit of English as well.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, for
wherever
the
you
most
go, it
part.
feels like there's always going to be. You can always like get about a bit, can't you?
Hmm.
Yeah,
But
definitely.
imagine just one day being like, fuck it, I'm moving to Russia. Like that's a whole completely
Yeah,
360 different culture. That's gonna be crazy.
yeah, it's true.
Like a
Yeah,
crazy culture
yeah.
shock.
Like, can you imagine to like maybe somewhere like North Korea as well?
It's
That'd
intense,
be
man.
mad. Dictatorship.
Have you ever listened to Yomi Park on a podcast?
I heard some of it one time.
Oh man, if you're ever in the mood for something like
Thanks.
dark.
So,
Yeah, I remember she talking about like eggs was a what's the word? Like a luxury.
Like, everything's a luxury, the way she was describing it.
And there
Like
was
it's
dead
just
bodies in the
crazy.
streets and stuff like that.
Yeah, she's just saying like there's just famine, like nationwide. It's like everyone is just living in poverty. They the way she was describing it is like you'll go out on the street and you'll see like dead bodies there and the rats are eating the bodies, but then because people are starving so much, they're trying to catch the rats to eat them, so that it's got like this cycle between people and the rats. She was saying um Kim Jong Un, he has like a picture. Everyone has to have a picture of him in their house,
oh
and they'll
God.
do random checks. And if the picture's got dust on it, or if it's like tilted or cracked or anything, like you haven't looked after it, then you go into the prison camp. And
Wow.
who knows if you ever make it out of there? You're either there for life or you're dead. If there's a fire in your house, you can't go and grab like your personal belongings. You have to. The first thing you have to take is that picture. It's like
Shit.
you can't even imagine how fucked up it is there.
That's
But
so
she
crazy, man.
escaped when she was young, and then obviously she tells the story of everything. So it's like real interesting. But man, when I first heard her on Joe Rogan, listen to that one actually. The first time she was
What's
on
her name?
Rogan, Yeomi Park. So it's like YEONMI. Listen to her interview on Joe Rogan. It's like quite a dark one, so
Damn.
be prepared. But you come out of it and it's like, man, it makes you just. It's one of those ones that makes you just appreciate the very small things you've got.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, that's another thing that we do. It feels it's very free over here compared to like some places like
Yeah.
that. Like you can just kind of somewhat do your own thing, you know. So
Yeah, we've
yeah,
got it
it's
good
kind
in
of
some
crazy.
ways. Healthcare and shit. Obviously, people say the NHS is shit, but it's there.
Peace is free, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Did you hear about that hotel, like this huge hotel that they built in North Korea that never opened?
Oh, and it was just all for show.
Yeah, they built it. They built it in like the 70s or the 80s. They started building it. They built the infrastructure for it, and they didn't use steel like they do in most like skyscrapers. They just use concrete. So they
Hmm.
built it, and it was kind of like a shell. It was kind of like a pyramid kind of shape. And then they couldn't afford to finish it, so it just sat there, this horrible like
Oh, really?
concrete structure for like decades. And then eventually they paid a company to do like the outside of it. So they put like glass, glass panels all around the outside, so it looked nice.
Yeah.
But the interior wasn't even like touched or anything. It was all like crumbling from the inside. So they
What?
just there's this like 400-meter tall hotel in the center of North Korea that no one's been inside of, and they just use it to they use it to post like propaganda
Yeah.
videos on the outside, like promotional stuff. But it's
Yeah,
just
because all
all
the
for
videos, it looks like it's all clean and everything's cool, but that's just
yeah
like this center. They have almost like a fake like city where it's like everything's just
yeah
there to look good.
yeah.
They even
But
got
And
then,
then yeah
tours where you can go to North Korea and be shown around, but of course it's completely like falsified and
yeah,
curated
that old
because
Vice
you can't leave the
documentary.
group.
Did you ever watch that?
I think I might have done.
in like the early days of Vice when it was like actually
I
good
think
and
so.
quite raw.
Was
Mm.
it? Was there one part where like you can't actually take a picture of
Oh
any
yeah, yeah,
statues of him or any pictures of him,
yeah.
or
You
if you
can't
do,
take
it needs to be
pictures.
the whole thing. Right?
Hmm.
It can't just be a piece.
Mm.
I can't remember where I
That's
heard this
crazy, man.
from.
Everything's like orchestrated basically, isn't it? So like
Yeah,
only
there is no
select
like
people
leaving the
can like
hotel
go
at
on this
night and
tour,
that.
but it's all orchestrated. It's like they'll just show you exactly what they want to show you, and that's it.
Mm.
Yeah, it's
I'm not even
crazy.
trying to risk it. Like,
No chance.
there's no
Absolutely
way.
not. It's not
No,
worth it. I'm definitely not that curious about North Korea.
no.
I'm quite a curious person. Like, I love to travel. I love to see new things.
But South Korea is good enough, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, remember the interview film?
Oh man, that's
Classic.
hilarious.
Can't believe he got away with that. That's
I know.
insane.
That's a joke.
Yeah.
There's a story behind that. I think at the time, I think they weren't sure whether they wanted to like put it out there or not. I think obviously Seth Rogen wanted to put it out there, but whoever was sort of in control of it, like the government, I don't know if they wanted it to be released because it was obviously mocking North Korea. And then I think at the time it was who was in power at that time? It would have been Barack Obama, I think. So I think he eventually like gave it a pass and said like, no, we need to let it out because if we don't, then it means that we're scared of him and we're not doing it because we're scared. So it was like, just put it out.
Mm,
I don't know if
nice.
that was true. I think it was in Seth Rogen's book or something, but he kind of apparently gave it the pass because he was like, we don't want to show that we're scared. Like, we can make fun of him if we want.
Man, power move. Risky. But yeah.
Never can go there at all.
Nah.
Yeah.
But then random people have been there. Like Dennis Rodman has been to meet him. Um, s- do you know like the people that have been to meet him have just been like so random? It's like,
Yeah. Yeah.
why are these people going?
Yeah. Dennis Rodman's the. They probably just picks guys that he knows are lunatics, so they're just not really
Yeah.
gonna do anything about it. What's new with producer stuff with you guys?
Just finishing the kit, man. I'm just like
Yeah, I saw
pushing
you
it
post
now
it yesterday.
because it's gonna
Yeah.
come out. Well, I'm away next week, obviously, so I've got until Wednesday, and then I'm hoping to drop it on the 28th. Mainly a drum kit. I've got some files from a percussionist coming back this weekend, so it'll be like a big percussion folder with like loads of live, just one shots. So I just need to go through them and mix them, make some other sounds, finalize some shit. And then last minute yesterday, I decided to record a course. So not like a huge one, but just like going through a full beat, start to finish, some VSTs and everything like that, just to include as a bonus. But I'm gonna have to edit that. I wasn't gonna do this as well because I was like, all right, let's just do a drum kit, that's it. But then as you're doing it, it's like, oh man, I need to add some more value, even though it's quite a big kit. But yeah, that's gonna be it though. Just a kit. I've only got like 5 loops in there, just as like a little bonus folder, and then there'll be the course as an upsell. So you can like the kit's just a kit, but then the course it might just be like a $20 upsell, and then I can just have that on my site then because I have like mini courses on my site for like $50 each, so that will just be added to the collection there.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
yeah, I'm just gonna have a busy week just trying to wrap everything up on top of doing the other shit. How about you guys?
Good, man. Yeah. Go on, Ocean. You go first.
Yeah, just tons of tracks. Basically, just finalizing. Gonna be moving soon, so next place I'm gonna build
Oh yeah,
a way better studio. It's got a massive room, so I'm gonna get sound panels and
Nice.
everything and do it properly this time.
sick.
Turn it into an actual place like I want to create again.
What will the setup be like? Is it like a full different room for the studio and then a bedroom separate as well and everything like that?
Yeah, it's a house this time. I'm gonna get a house.
Okay.
It's not out of the city. It's just a bit further away,
Right.
but it's still very close to the center. Just not as central as I am now.
Okay.
And yeah, it's got quite a few different rooms, but one of the rooms that's nice and big. Gonna turn that. Got the plans for it already, so I'm gonna get all the sound panels, put that all around, make it really, really nice,
Mm-hmm.
and then yeah, just continue building. Honestly, man, I do want to put, like I was saying before, I do want to put out a kit. and I've been slowly building it, like really taking my time building it.
Right.
So that's something that's going on in the background. But this next like 2 months, let's say, I really want to start like dropping stuff. So that's going to be my main focus.
Yeah.
Put out my
Nice.
mix. So now I want to like start putting out some tracks and stuff. Get momentum rolling.
What's the plan going to be with that? Like, is there like a release plan, or just kind of drop it as many as possible?
I'm still a bit undecided because if I release through labels, then it's on their timeline and not mine.
Mm-hmm.
I do see a benefit in doing that, and I might want to do it for a couple of tracks that I've got, but I still want to release on my own. So I'm still trying to figure out what that's gonna be. If I'm even able to do one a month, because if it's on
Yeah.
their timeline, then I'm not too sure. But on SoundCloud, at least I can just drop whenever I want, whatever I want. So I at least want to get the ball rolling there.
Right.
Mhm. What's the benefit of doing it through the labels? Like, what like, what would be the difference?
Honestly,
Got the
the
machine
main,
behind you.
not even, the streams are not crazy,
Oh, really?
but it's a cosign. People take you more seriously when you've released on certain labels,
Yeah.
Right.
and it might unlock different gigs that I can't unlock by myself just yet.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
It's a very much, oh, he released on, oh, yeah, okay, I see. He's
Just changes
affiliated with
people's perception of you
them.
or
Yeah.
of the song, of the track.
Of you, I'd say, yeah.
Yeah. And do they
But-
take like a cut off the back,
Yeah.
or like is it? Yeah.
They take a
Makes
huge
sense.
cut. But
Mhm.
the reasoning is not, you don't really want to make tons of money from the track, but you'll make it on the back end through bookings.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. So it's just like put the song out. Doesn't matter about the upfront, no advances or anything like that. Just get it
No,
out there, and then
give
yeah.
it to their audience. Because a
Mhm.
lot of
Right.
people are fans of a label as well, not just a DJ, but the label because it's got a curated sound.
Yeah.
So if you go
that
to
makes sense.
Carouse Records, you're going to get a very bouncy kind of trance vibe. So people are fans of that kind of sound.
Mm-hmm. Is it kind of
Example.
like I wonder if it's kind of like how there's a UK guy called TD because he got signed to, I think it was Sony.
Was he
Mhm.
signed now?
I think so. You got a
I
session
think he's
with
got his
him
own label now.
recent. He's got his
Yeah,
own
I've had a
thing,
session
okay.
with him. I know TD.
Yeah, I'm not too sure what his setup is, but I think maybe it was like a similar thing in the beginning.
Hmm. Yeah, it's good to get the ball rolling. But eventually,
Yeah.
it seems like most DJs just start their own label in the end.
Right.
Because then you have full control over everything.
I guess it feels like the benefit in that scene is the deals aren't too long. It's like track by track basis.
Yeah.
So
Literally
it's not
track by
like,
track.
is it?
Unless you're doing an EP, but even an EP is like 3 tracks.
Yeah. So that seems pretty good, really. Because then you don't
it
have
does.
that. So there's benefits to both, isn't there? Like, if you're in something long term, then you know that you'll have constant releases with them. But also, it gives you a bit of flexibility if you're not in with them long term.
Yeah.
Mm.
And I think it's good to in this scene to kind of bounce around labels to
Yeah.
like be over here for a while,
okay.
be over there, release on a few different record labels.
Right. Yeah, it's mad
Yeah.
that it's such a different setup compared to hip hop.
Yeah. It seems a lot more like free and less
It's
hassle
very
for the artist.
grassroots.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It reminds me of Sunday League versus like Premier League or something.
Do all the labels trickle up to the top ones? Like in hip hop, you have all these like subdivisions, but everything leads to Warner and Sony.
Less
Is it
so.
like that?
No, it's way more independent.
Is it?
You do have some that will be affiliated with like a Sony or whatever, but those are for the really like big commercial kind of guys, like a David Guetta or a Calvin Harris.
Right.
But then they're in a different. They're basically pop stars at the end of the day,
Yeah.
Yeah.
rather than like DJ First.
So maybe it seems like a lot more independent labels, like smaller independent
Definitely.
ones.
Definitely, yeah.
Because sometimes, like in hip hop, you think that like you'll hear a label name, you think it's just like a small thing, but then you follow it up and it's actually part of UMG or Sony. You know what I mean?
It's a
So I
huge
didn't know if that was the
umbrella
case, but yeah, I guess it's different there.
Mhm.
I wonder who Interscope is. Interscope like a umbrella
Yeah,
label? Like, do they have people underneath them, or are they like part of like Sony or Universal or something?
yeah.
Both.
Interscope's part of
I think they're underneath someone, maybe like Warner,
Yeah, Warner owns
by
it, maybe.
UMG, Universal.
UMG.
UMG.
Yeah,
But then they have tons of labels underneath them.
yeah, because they have like
It's
Shady
bizarre, isn't it?
Records and stuff, and they had loads, didn't they? Did they
Yeah,
have Shady?
Aftermath.
Yeah, Aftermath. Sorry, yeah, Aftermath. That's the one I was thinking of.
I'm sure they would have had Shady was probably under Aftermath. You know, like how it
Yeah,
keeps on just getting.
yeah, yeah.
And
It
then
keeps
G Unit
trickling
was
down, doesn't it?
probably
Man,
underneath
that's
Shady or
insane.
some shit, you know?
Yeah,
That's so crazy, man.
it's like a
Yeah.
pyramid scheme in a way.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
100%.
No, literally, literally.
It's like the early pyramid schemes.
So who's the top? Who's the top? Who are the pyramids basically? Who's
There's
the top
only
of the
three top
UMG,
ones.
Sony,
Sony.
and Warner.
and
Yeah.
Warner? Yeah.
They
Damn,
basically divided the
They
whole,
control
like,
the
took over
world, man.
everything.
control
Basically.
everything. Yeah. Man, that's crazy. Because it's not just music as well. Like, Universal have got all these sub-film production companies and
Yeah. And then think of
Paramount and all
Sony.
that.
They got TVs
Sony.
and PlayStation and all this shit as well.
Yeah.
Fuck, man, that's insane.
Who
Can't get your head
owns?
around how big some of these companies are.
I know is it Lucian Grange or something? Is he the head of Universal? CEO of Universal.
Hmm.
Like, that's just a powerful person.
Is it one of them
It
things?
does-
Because I watched Did you guys watch the Zuckerberg podcast?
No, not yet.
Oh yeah. I watched it.
Yeah, it was pretty good, wasn't it? I thought it was pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's a good
Um,
interview.
Yeah, but like he was saying that because he's like the top of Facebook, he can't be fired because he's not answering to the board. Like he is basically the like above the board, and he can kind of call his own shots. Whereas like these huge companies like Sony, Universal, do the CEOs answer to the board? Like, are they kind of like having to hit certain criteria to like the shareholders,
I'm
and then
pretty
like
sure
so their
so,
job's
right?
always on the line? Yeah.
Yeah, because
So it
when
must
when
be-
there's a big company like that and the board's quite big, you can essentially be like outvoted. It depends like what
Yeah.
you own in the company and what your position is, but yeah, when the board's like that big, people can get like kicked out of their own companies. Like
Yeah.
it can happen on a smaller scale as well. I don't know if you ever saw it, Ocean, but you remember that kettlebell kitchen in Manchester?
Yeah.
It happened to her. I think it was this woman that opened it, and then she went into business with some other people, and the way she was describing it was a while ago I heard about it, but whoever like came in, it meant that there was like the company was then like split between them, but the other two together outweighed like her like percentage wise. So then they sort of voted to like kick her out. I don't know like how exactly they did it, but she got kicked out of like her own business basically. She got done over by these guys,
That's
and that's
crazy.
like on like a small level. So
Mm.
I'm sure some like crazy shit happens at the top.
Yeah, definitely.
100%.
I think that happened with McDonald's as well. There was like two
Oh,
brothers.
that was a fucked up story, man. You ever seen the
Yeah.
film The Founder?
Yeah, that's what I was about to
Founder, I don't
reference.
think I've seen that.
It is really good. It'll piss you off, but it's really good.
Really?
It's about how it became so big basically, and it was
Yeah.
these two brothers who came up with the idea of like how like super fast food, like you order a burger, it's there in like 10 seconds. They
Mhm.
had this whole system. They had a whole blueprint of the kitchen layout for like the maximum efficiency in like a kitchen.
Oh, really?
And anyway, this entrepreneur, like he was like an ambitious entrepreneur who was wanting to like, he was struggling to make ends meet. He went there, just stopped in for a quick burger, and he saw it, and he's like, "Damn, this is like an amazing system. This needs to be like not just one restaurant." So he was the guy that kind of took the plans from these two guys and wanted to make it bigger and
Right.
promised them like these kind of money. And basically over time, he kicked them out of their own the thing that they
Oh, man.
started, and he took everything. Yeah. so
Shady
bad.
shit.
Yeah.
Dudes, I've got to run. I've got to be somewhere.
Yeah, that's cool. We can
Yeah,
wrap
cool.
up there.
Yeah, no problem.
Another one filled with music advice. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it this week.
Finish speaking about McDonald's.
It's good to switch it up. But yeah, appreciate you
definitely.
guys for tuning in. We'll see you in the next
Yeah.
one.
Peace.